So today I'm going to be running through my TL1109 Part 2B Viva, where I'll be answering 3 questions. The first question is, what do I think the strong element of my video was? I feel like my subject knowledge was a key aspect of the video, as I was confident going through the movements, and I gave clear instructions as to how to perform the exercises and what muscle group they were hitting. I gave a progression when it came to doing the push-up, whereas some people may not have the strength to perform this movement. So the regression was being on their knees and balancing half their body weight, as it would be easier for them to perform the movement if they didn't have the necessary strength. I feel like the terminology used showed good pedagogical content knowledge, which helped me. But I feel like when working together in a group, it didn't flow very well, as 2 of us were doing cricket, somebody else was doing a boxing drill, and my focus was around home workouts. There was a lot of clashing when it came to our preferred teaching approaches, as mine is a more command style based approach, whereas others were different. Question 2, how did I incorporate the 3 strands? I feel like the PE based teaching approach gave the demonstrations on what to do and how effectively it hit each muscle group. I think this was good. In terms of the healthy lifestyle aspect, it was supposed to replicate a gym environment, which is quite difficult to do with limited equipment at home. For the socio-cultural module, I felt like the focus was on how anyone can do this workout with very little equipment. I feel like there should have been more differentiation in the exercises I was doing. The next question is what I had done differently. I think I would have had more input into the planning of the session, as it was done in my front room and the setup was not very professional. I feel like I should have watched more teaching videos on how I can understand getting my points across to people, as I feel like this was a weak area. The third question is, I also think I should have focused more on a fundamental skill as opposed to condensing a workout into a very short video. For question 3, how would gain knowledge this year affect future practice? I feel like the structuring of my sessions should have been a lot better, and then it's easier to understand and provide simplifications and progression for students, whereas I only did it with a push-up when doing this video. I feel like I need to organise the practical session better and have the appropriate equipment set up before the session starts. In terms of the healthy lifestyle aspect this year, I've learned that posture and joint health is very important, as I found a lot of struggles when it came for me to doing some of the exercises, like in gym like course lessons. When we were doing all sorts of rolls and stretches, I felt like I wasn't very good at them. Gender equality is also an important factor in sport, as it doesn't matter whether you're doing netball, football, basketball, you need to be involving everyone in the class. I feel like cultural differences is also important. As for say, when we were doing the Healthy Schools event, I noticed that some Asian children had to wear a headscarf, but as I am someone that is not from a very prominent Asian area, it was very new to me, and I had to understand that they may not be able to partake in certain sports or events. I feel like assessment for learning is also very important, as it is a good indicator as to how well someone is performing and how they are progressing. This then shows, you can see how they're doing, and it allows for intervention if necessary. I feel like the involvement of everyone in the class is an important aspect I've learned this year, as you need to focus on the student themselves and their individual needs. Competence is another key area I feel like I've learned this year, as when it comes to teaching, it's very difficult, and it's not just having competence with myself, with the pupils, but with the sport I am teaching, as I'm not very familiar with playing basketball in school or badminton. I feel like classroom management is also very important, as when we are put in a teaching, when we are put into a teaching like scenario, I feel like it's hard to control the classroom, as there is constantly people messing around and and not listening to instructions. I feel like this could be an issue going into teaching. So this is something that I need to get used to. That concludes my 3 questions.